It Ends With Us is directed by Justin Baldoni and stars Blake Lively and a few other people that I don't know the names to, honestly. When a woman's first love suddenly re-enters her life, her relationship with a charming but abusive neurosurgeon is upended, and she realizes that she must learn to rely on her own strengths to make an impossible choice for her future. Now, romance films aren't particularly a genre of films that I cover a whole lot on this channel. There's only like a few that I remember watching in my life. While I'm a person that is willing to watch any kind of film and is trying to lend myself to more genres as of late. Like I'm trying to watch a bit more comedies as of late, and now I'm trying to delve into some romance stuff. This one was never a genre that I particularly always watched because I felt like it always follows a same type of pattern that doesn't feel that distinguishable from other genres. Even though I'm someone that watches a lot of horror and comic stuff, and that is also similar to many other films. I don't know, I guess I'm just biased in that regard. I'm willing to admit that. Just never was a genre that was particularly one of my things to watch. But I decided to give this movie a chance. And what are my thoughts on it? It's alright, I guess. I guess the acting is pretty good for the most part. I think Blake Lively does a pretty good job in the film, as well as some of the other actors that portray these characters. And the love triangle element, I think, was pretty fine here. The abusive nature to one of the characters, that being the focal point, I wish could have been focused on a little bit more. And one of the other characters that Blake Lively also was in a romantic relationship with when she was a kid in the film, I think could have been a bit better developed when he was an adult. And I felt like that could have helped make the relationship angle be a lot more strong. Could have helped her conflict flow a lot more better, and it doesn't feel like the movie is trying to pad out its runtime. What I'm trying to say is, it felt like the movie was dragging on and doesn't focus on a lot of the stuff it is trying to focus on a lot more than it should. And I feel like it was just because the writing had very little meat to the bone. It did not have a lot of substance to it. And the abusive nature and the elements of domestic violence that the movie goes on, I feel like could have been a lot better explored. I like how it was set up subtly throughout the course of the film, but still felt like it was still underdone. And I felt like the emotions the characters were going through, I feel like it rang hollow to me. Because it's not that I want to see Blake Lively's character be abused, but I feel like I wanted to understand her emotions a whole lot more. I wanted her character at least, to have a moment that feels genuinely satisfying for the character. Seeing her, what she's been going through, I feel like could have been a lot better, because sometimes it feels like this movie is between focusing on domestic violence and then focusing on being a standard romance film with a love triangle, and it doesn't always mesh well. I think that is due to the film feeling like it has a lot of deleted scenes, and it felt like it was cut down because it's trying to maintain a certain runtime to play in a theater. It felt like the movie was rushed at times, really, and it felt like there were some scenes missing in certain areas of the film where I felt like it could have made the story flow a lot better. Because sometimes the writing and directing can feel sloppy due to the way the film was put together, really. And I just felt like the movie was just sloppy and all over the place. It was a bit of a mess. I felt like the cinematography and filmmaking elements in a technical aspect was pretty good. The audio was pretty good. The characters and the actors do a really good job. Just that the directing, the storytelling, the writing, the editing, it just failed the film. And it made it very unfocused. I wish I could have really liked this film. I wanted to give it a chance, and there are elements of the film I found to be pretty good. Some of the dialogue here with the characters interacting with each other I found pretty good, pretty well written. They all felt like real people at times. I really liked the best friend character, who has pretty good chemistry with Blake Lively. But the story itself, the themes of domestic violence and how that could take a toll on a relationship, especially when that relationship has a love triangle element to it, I felt like that all could have been focused on a little bit more. And maybe in the book it was much better, because with a book you have all the time in the world to write however you want to write it. It felt like this movie should have just stayed as a book, because as a movie adaptation it just felt sloppy and all over the place. So for all of those reasons, I'm going to give It Ends With Us a C. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.